We all know there are plenty of shady mechanics in this world, and very few of them you can trust to repair your car. But how do you weed out the bad mechanics from the good? Welcome to Automotive for Beginners. Today we'll go over some ways you can spot a crappy mechanic from a good one. So I'm sure you're aware of the obvious reasons to avoid scammy mechanics. That being that some will overcharge you and recommend unnecessary repairs. And there's plenty of great videos out there giving different advice for different scenarios. But here I'll try to cover ground which hasn't been discussed enough yet. I would even be cautious from referrals from friends, as that doesn't guarantee you'll find a quality mechanic to work on your car. Getting a referral is great, but it's not over until you actually interview the mechanic yourself and get a feeling as to how trustworthy he is. So what are the other scams mechanics can use against you? One that is overlooked is that mechanics may overtorque your fasteners. Now how might this be turned into a scam? Well, if the mechanic wants to get money off you the next time, he might overtorque your bolts on anything he repairs for you. Overtorquing fasteners can lead your bolts to being stripped out the next time he or someone else works on your vehicle. So for instance, you might need a repair that requires removing your skid plate or plastic cover underneath your vehicle. When the skid plate or cover goes back on after the repair, the bolts can break the next time you need another repair or inspection underneath the vehicle. That's extra labor costs coming out of your pocket to drill out bolts with special tools. This can also apply to any other parts on your vehicle that have bolts holding it into place. That's an easy $100 or over charge to you for something so simple that could have been easily avoided. However, not all mechanics do this on purpose. Sometimes bolts just seize up due to rust being built up, or you have a dumb mechanic who's too lazy to torque your bolts to spec. But if you somehow go back to check the mechanic's work with your own tools not long after, and you see the bolts strip out, you can bet the last mechanic over-torqued your bolts. So how do you combat this? Not everyone wants to go back into their repairs with their tools, and since it's hard to claim any money back for over-torqued bolts, it's best you can find ways to make sure you trust your mechanic. This is probably the best defense against being screwed over with over-torqued bolts. Over time, these things can add up. Another scam is to charge you a ridiculous price on parts, claiming that's what the mechanic's catalog says. Those catalogs they show are full of crap, and those companies are probably in on it with the mechanic to screw you over. The best thing to do here is to call around for parts at different parts stores and ask what they charge for what you're looking for. Then you can negotiate a better price with the mechanic, telling him you found out there are the same parts out there for cheaper. One time a mechanic quoted me $600 to fix one wheel hub from his crappy catalog. Later on, I found different parts stores selling two of the wheel hubs for $360, which is almost half that for double the parts. So I took that deal and never called that mechanic back again. And the last scam on this list that mechanics do is claim they have replaced your old parts with new ones, but actually didn't. You can get scammed by believing the mechanic's word at face value. The remedy for this is to ask the mechanic if he can show you the car before and after it gets repaired, and also to give you the old parts back. That way the mechanic will have to explain what's bad about your car and how it looks afterwards. Even if you're not sure what the mechanic is saying, you can still look for any differences between the old and new parts when he shows you. Take pictures before and after and compare them. That's something any beginner can do to keep these mechanics in check. If the mechanic refuses to let you see the car in the garage due to some insurance policies or whatever, I suggest you leave. There's plenty other mechanics who know the value of showing customers before and after car repairs, and they'll let you into the garage.
Are you listening?
But if you're too busy and you can only come by once the car is repaired, ask the techs to come outside with you to show your car and show exactly what they fixed. Have your before and after pictures ready. And always, I mean always, get a quote in writing before the mechanic does any work on your vehicle. That even includes inspections. And never throw that quote in writing into the trash. It'll be your last fail-safe against even the most crooked mechanics trying to scam you. Keeping that quote in writing can be compared to the final bill in writing. Because here in Alberta, Canada, any difference of 10% or higher charge to you on the final bill can be disputed by law. And I'm sure there are government bodies out there over the world that deal with these types of mechanics. So be sure to find out what yours is called in your local area. Here in Alberta, we have what's called AMVIC. So always remember to get mechanics to show you the car before and after it's repaired. Get your quote in writing before anything happens to your car. And last but not least, always be willing to walk away. As long as you don't see signs that your car will blow up anytime soon, just walk away. 99% of the time, you can walk away and nothing bad will happen to your car. So I hope this helped. If you want to learn more about the secret tool mechanics use to fix practically all vehicles, check out automotiveforbeginners.com/thesecrettool. Make sure to hit subscribe and comment. This is Automotive for Beginners, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.